Hey, how's it going, cats and chicks? It's Gavin the Greaser, you dig? So, I don't know what that was, but anyways, I did a poll on Instagram and to see which video you cats and chicks out there would rather see, and it was between the video on how story on how I became a greaser. It was either that or a Murray's hair product review video. I've already done Brill Cream, so I haven't done Murray's yet. Probably do Murray's in the future because, why not? Review it, see what it's like. All other stuff, getting off topic. But you cats out there would rather apparently see the story on how I became a greaser. Where I kind of began, where I started, where I'm at now. Because I've gotten a lot of stuff since I first started greasing. Dig? So, why not? Why the hell not? Let's just get into it, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Let's just get into it. So, let's take this back to, I want to say, 2019, 2020. Maybe 2019, maybe 2020. I honestly fucking know. I've been greasing for about 4 years now. I don't honestly remember the exact fucking day or, the date or whatever, anything like that. I don't remember that stuff. I don't remember that shit specifically. But that was the year I remember specifically greasing and, getting the shit together. Getting my shit together, We'll start there. Anyways. So kind of growing up, I kind of was already into rock and roll in general. I wasn't in, to Elvis or Johnny Cash like I am now. But growing up, I was into the Beatles a lot. I really liked the Beatles growing up. So I was already into that, already kind of into the rock and roll stuff a little bit. And I already kind of wore blue jeans, like literally. I already had blue jeans in my pants, option, whatever you want to call it, in my shelf. I always had blue jeans in my shelf. Always wore blue jeans. So I was kind of already, a fit for one-on-one. I didn't have much white t-shirts. I had a few tank tops, but I didn't have white t-shirts or black t-shirts or green or blue or whatever fucking color you want to name. Didn't have that. But I did have like tank tops, like the blue. Well, you see my Instagrams. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see what I'm talking about. And all that stuff. So I already had tank tops. At least some. I didn't have shirts or anything. So, that was kind of a thing I did not have yet. Yeah, like I said, growing up, I always, liked the Beatles. I always, had the blue jeans as well. Maybe not slim straight blue jeans, but they were blue jeans. Different colored blue jeans. And I kind of started getting into greasing, like I said, about 2019, 2020. That's when I kind of first started greasing. And, when I had, you put that together, you put the jeans, the tank tops, the white t-shirts, you put that stuff together with the rock and roll and all that other stuff. I didn't know what to call it, okay? I didn't know what it was called at that time. Obviously, I know now because I've been greasing for 4 years, but at that time period, when I was first starting out, I didn't know what it was called. I didn't even know what was going on when I started doing it, all right? And what happened was, I experienced and I experimented. I don't know if that's even a word, if you can consider it a word. I think it's a word. I don't fucking know. Who cares? This is an English class. This is fucking Gavin the Greaser's YouTube channel. Dig it? Anyways, but yeah, I did that. And, I started digging into some shit and researching and finding out this cool shit that I liked when I first started getting into it. Meaning greasers in general, as the years went on, I found out, about Cryptic Art. I found out about his channel, and I started watching his videos. And, I found out, a lot of other cool cats that were doing YouTube as well. So I started watching their videos as well and seeing what I can do myself to, get into the subculture and getting it going, getting the whole thing, the whole bit going, right? And as years go on, I did listen, I did get into the 50s music a lot as well. So, Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, Buddy Holly, Little Richard, Johnny Cash, Ricky Nelson, you know, Gene Vincent, you know, your early rockabilly. So Gene Vincent, you know, Jerry Lee Lewis, even Elvis has his own, you know, rockabilly thing going back then as well. I started to get into that as well. I started to get into, you know, the 80s rockabilly. So, you know, the Stray Cats, you know, and those bands, you know, the 80s rockabilly revival. You know, I started punk rock bands I started getting to later in my years. You know, I wasn't really a fan of it, but, you know, now I've gotten, you know, into punk rock, you know, later in the years. So later in the years, I did get into punk rock. I did get into some of the music, you know, like the Ramones, the Clash, Sex Pistols, you know, all these different bands, you know. I'm rambling on about bands. I can do a video if you want me to. I mean, it'd be an easy video to do, because I know a lot about it. But yeah, anyways, I started getting to that. I started listening to the music. I started, you know, getting interested in, you know, seeing, you know, the leather jackets come in, you know, the jean jackets, and thinking to myself, you know, because I looked up, you know, when I first heard about this stuff, I looked up, you know, 1950s, you know, greasers, old photos, just to see what they looked like, to get an image and a review of what they looked like. And right away, as soon as I seen that stuff, I'm like, these fucking cats are badass looking, you know. They got their fucking leather jackets on, you know, they got the engineer boots, they got the Chuck Taylors on, you know, they got the blue jeans cuffed up, they got, you know, the denim jackets, the leather, they got the bomber jackets, they got all these different things. And it's just interesting, you know, it's cool to learn about, you know. All this old stuff, you know, all this old school stuff, it's cool and interesting to learn about it, man. And, you know, seeing that stuff really interests me, you know, it really, you know, kind of got me wondering about, you know, all the shit that I was wondering about at that time. And, you know, like I said, pretty much after that is when I started, you know, to watch Cryptic Arts videos about his, you know, greasers, stuff about the subculture, about the music, you know, the look, about everything. And then, you know, after I kind of got, you know, to the punk rock bands and I started, you know, listening to the punk rock stuff a little more and the rock and roll stuff, you know, eventually, through the timeline, I actually met cats and chicks that were related in the subculture, and we're still doing it to this day, believe it or not. And still this day, I still meet cats and chicks that are still in the subculture that I haven't even met yet. And I still meet them from time to time. You know, if I haven't met them, you know, I'll meet them, you know, see what's up, you know, see what's going on. But yeah, still to this day, there's still cats out there that I have not met. And I've been greasing for 4.5 years now. Almost 5 years now. It's crazy to think about that. Anyways, back on track here. So, yeah, that's what kind of started off. And, you know, eventually I did more research. And I did more, you know, looking up. And I started buying the actual clothing, you know. Eventually, you know, I bought a leather jacket. I bought, you know, denim jackets. And I made a jean vest that I still wear from time to time. If it's not too hot, I'll wear a jean vest or whatever. And my newest jacket is a bomber jacket. I do own a bomber jacket now. Got that out of the way. I got it, you know. And eventually I started buying, you know, white t-shirts, black t-shirts from Walmart, you know. You know, just using my mind and thinking and, you know, doing research and thinking, okay, you know what, where can I find this stuff at? Where can I find these items at? You know, where can I find these main things at? And I started thinking, Walmart, of course, you know. So, you know, I went to Walmart, I bought the white t-shirts, the blacks, you know, the blue t-shirts. And then I started thinking, well, Target's got some stuff there too. I might as well try to check there and see what they got. And to my surprise, Target did have some good stuff there as well. So now I pretty much go to Walmart and Target if I look for stuff. So, you know. Easy thing, you know, to just think, you know, like, oh, this store's gonna have what I'm looking for. This store's gonna have what I'm looking for as well. Why don't I go to those stores and buy what I'm looking for? Right? Right. That's what kind of like what I did. Some stuff, you know, you gotta order online. Some you don't. I'm getting off topic. I always am. Let's get back on topic, shall we? But yeah, basically, like I said, I did my research and I looked for the stuff. And then like I said, apparently met some cats along the way who are also interested in the subculture as well. And, you know, I asked some cats some questions, you know, about the subculture. You know, they said, you know, oh, why are you interested in Grayson? You know, why are you interested in this? Why are you interested in that? You know, I told them basically, I'm like, dude, I'm, you know, into Grayson because I'm into music. You know, I'm interested, you know, in some of the artists and some of the movie artists like James Dean, Marlon Brando. You know, I'm interested in all that stuff. And, you know, I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be a part of the subculture. And like I said, I've been greasing for about almost 5 years now. So, you know, yeah, man. Like I said, I did ask some cats some questions along the way. And, you know, which is cool, that they helped me out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But pretty much all I really did was I looked my stuff up, and I looked at what cats were wearing back in the 50s, and didn't completely recreate that, but, you know, I did my own thing with it, you know? And that's kind of where I'm at today with this stuff, you know? But yeah, man, so that's kind of my story on how I became a greaser. Make sure, you know, you hit that thumbs up, you subscribe, you know, go like, you know, the Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, you know, you don't have to worry about that. You know, I really don't care if you do or you don't. You know, go like the Instagram. Always post it on Instagram. You know, turn those notifications on, and you'll get notifications every single time I post an Instagram post, or I post on my story. Sometimes I go live on there as well. So, you know, you might not want to miss that, you know, if I go live or whatnot. That's on there as well. So, dig it. Alright, cats and chicks, that is my story on how I became a greaser. Almost 5 years that I've been greasing. Time really does fly by when you think about it. But yeah, cats, so that's going to do it for today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, you know, cool. You know, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed my story on how I became a greaser. And, yeah. So, Gavin is out.